Hi everyone, Xavier here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going over the update to the movie collection. Now there are some titles that I have since removed or upgraded, as you can see in the video in the titles that I've got. Some of course though I have removed from my collection, but they haven't been updated yet, or there is a 4K release that's going to come like within the next year or so. So in terms of like how much the value of my collection has gone, I'd say about like 8,500 in terms of like the constant rotation of movies I got and movies I upgraded. So as well as the movies I removed from the collection to make way for new 4Ks. So that's about how I'd say the value is 8,500. That said, let's just get into it. So first title I got for this new update is Beetlejuice, the original in 4K. The funny thing is, I've never saw the original Beetlejuice before I got this 4K. I know about the movie beforehand, but when the sequel was coming out, I felt I needed to watch it before, you watch the original before seeing the sequel because I have no idea what the whole appeal is of that sequel. And honestly, really good, really nice 4K. And yeah, like I would love to get Beetlejuice 2. Right now, I'm just waiting for it to go lower in pricing. Um, Next up is Deadpool Wolverine. I had to get it. Good movie. I wouldn't say it's amazing. I know a lot of people, really love this movie, and I would say it's better than like Deadpool 2, but Deadpool 1 still I think is better. But it's still like a very fun movie. Like it is, it has its flaws, but I think it's just meant to go for entertainment value, and that's why I had to get this 4K. I'm a bit annoyed they didn't do a free movie collection for the 4K. There's only the two movie pack that I have, but all in all, Deadpool free still good to get on 4K. Next up is Galaxy Quest on 4K, which I think I watched a few, like just a little bit before I got to 4K. I remember I watched it like on streaming. Like I don't know if it was this year or last year, but regardless, I really loved Galaxy Quest, and honestly, it was like a cheap pickup, or at least cheap than current 4K titles are. Like that's the thing with why if you see it's not like a huge update of movies, it's because 4Ks have got a bit more expensive. Paramount though tends to be on the cheaper end of 4Ks, maybe because they only just keep the 4K and that's it. Galaxy Quest looks good on 4K though, and honestly, it's a fantastic movie, fantastic comedy. Um, Even if you don't watch Star Trek or anything, it's still a fun movie. Next up is an upgrade actually, and that is Sweeney Todd on 4K. The funny thing is with this movie, they technically released this 4K edition over a year ago in a special collection of like horror films from Paramount, but only like this year did they decide, to release it on 4K. And I love this movie. I think I said it when I initially went through the Blu-ray of it, but really underrated Tim Burton film, Johnny Depp, movie. Like, I know it's not gonna be for everyone. Musicals are a specific genre per se for people, but it was actually really good. I know I'm kind of rushing over things, but unless I have something interesting to say, I'm not gonna fully, you know, take too much time. Another upgrade this year was the Terminator on 4K, which has to be one of the best 4Ks that has come out as of late. James Cameron is infamous for how he does his 4Ks. I believe I covered True Lies before I did the entire collection thing. But True Lies, was infamous for DNR, very heavy AI cleaning. This has a nice in between. You can tell it's cleaned up, but it's still faithful to the original source material. No, not source material, the source code for the film. And I heard there was a little bit of an enhancement. There was a little bit of CGI added to like the little scalpel when he cuts open the eye and stuff. But other than that, it's a very faithful 4K upgrade for the movie. And honestly, it was really like well priced. Terminator 1 is fantastic. Not much to say about the actual movie. But honestly, if you love this movie, check it out on 4K. It is fantastic. I know I've been using fantastic for like this entire movie, this entire video, but it is what it is. Next up is an odd one that is Trap on 4K. I know some people weren't a big fan of this movie, but I really enjoyed it. I love Shyamalan films, and you can see from the next title I got. And Trap is an interesting film. I understand how it's not going to be for everyone. But honestly, it was just a fun movie. Josh Hartnett was fantastic. Looked really good on 4K. The songs and what's her name? Shyamalan's daughter, that's like the singer in the movie, is actually pretty good. I know some people didn't like it when she became sort of like the protagonist for a little bit, but it was interesting and it was just a fun ride. I know like people were expecting more of a serious movie or a more twist-filled movie, but honestly, for what it is, it's actually kind of fun. It's just that you got to go into that sort of expectation. So that's Trap. Just a second here. Here is another upgrade, and that is The Visit on 4K from Keanu Lober. Surprisingly, I haven't watched. I have to watch the audio commentary. I'm curious to see what that is about because it's not Shyamalan's commentary. It's just these random people. But I talked about this movie. It was used to be on Blu-ray. I upgraded, of course. Still enjoy it. I don't think it's the best 4K update because I think the original film was 2K. This is this is just a 2K upgrade, but the HDR really helps out. I don't think there's no Dolby Atmos either because it's a very lower budget film, and I don't think you could really upgrade that. But other than that, it's still a good movie to pick up. Of course, I really enjoyed this movie. I think quite a few people actually enjoyed this one. Okay. So, next up is the more special stuff here. First up, the Shrek 4 movie collection on 4K. I had the individuals from the last few videos I've done last year. Once they got the fourth film, they did a whole collection pack, and of course, I had to pick it up there to save space, and as well as just I'm a Shrek fan. I talked about the Shrek movies before in the past few videos. And I think they even said Shrek 4 was enjoyable. Even like I said, Shrek 3, is fun for what it is. Not an amazing movie, but still. This also contains, I'm trying to see where the disc is actually for that. Apparently there is there it is. Oh, and the discs are falling off. There's also a bonus disc for like the special shorts and holiday specials and stuff like that. And honestly, that's really good. I think it doesn't have everything. I know there was a Blu-ray collection of all the extra Shrek stuff, but this also has a good amount of stuff from there, like particularly the holiday holiday specials, which are really fun, But yeah, honestly, if you're a Shrek fan, just get this. They look good on 4K. You get the extra bonus materials. Yeah. So next we get to the Steelbooks and the other collection I got here. First off is Coraline. Finally managed to upgrade this to 4K, especially particularly 4K Steelbook, since it was a little, it wasn't, just a little bit more expensive than the actual standard one, but it was worth it. And yeah, no, Coraline. I already talked about it because I had the Blu-ray of it, but it's fantastic. There's a little, special booklet that came with this Steelbook. The Steelbook itself looks fantastic. The movie itself on 4K is, outstanding actually because it's so textile, because it's stop motion, and with the added 4K and HDR, it looks, phenomenal. Also with Dolby Atmos too, so it really is like, if you're going to get a 4K like Steelbook or just a 4K in general, Coraline is definitely like a top recommendation. Next up is Darkman. I've also managed to upgrade this to 4K. It took a little bit of a while. But no, I really like this movie. Like I said, I think I went through it in the initial video because it came out at the time. Sam Raimi, Liam Neeson, interesting superhero, sort of movie, which is not really a superhero movie, but, it's still like, really underrated film. Kind of wish they did more with this franchise. Looks great on 4K. Steelbook is could be more interesting, but I like it. I like the simplicity. Here's an interesting one coming up. the 1976 King Kong. This is like, I think, a limited edition, so I'm pretty sure next year is going to be a standard version of the movie on 4K. But the only way so far for this year is the Steelbook, and I was curious enough to pick this up. Also, this is kind of cool. So you have the top layer to cover what's her name, Jessica Lange in this movie, and you have, like, the design here. As for what are my thoughts about this movie, because this was the first time I watched it when I got the 4K. It was interesting. I understand how it could be seen as a very bad movie, like a bad remake, but it's a very engaging movie in my opinion. I love the effects. I love the little twists on the story. When Kong is in how's it called? When he's in the city, it's very like it's like it looks so cool seeing this like suit, like because it's like animatronic, but there's also a person in there, and they're like the big model city. It was really cool. And like just a second here, the it's like it can be a little bit long, but I think like the King Kong films tend to be long in general. And some things are a little dated, but honestly, it's still an interesting movie. And also, this comes with, I believe, the extended TV cut, which I still have to see. But on 4K, looks great. And honestly, it's a very interesting watch because like barely anyone talks about the King Kong 76 film, and I get it. It's definitely like a weird entry in terms of it was not the Peter Jackson one that people would like think is fantastic, and there's some changes that people don't really get into with this movie, but the filmmaking and just the general like scale is just so I don't know fun to watch that it makes it worthwhile for me, at least for me. Also, like Jeff Bridges, early role for him as well. So if you like Jeff Bridges, watch that. All right, the last one, which kind of fits along with this with King Kong, is the Godzilla Kong MonsterVerse 5-movie film collection. Now, I had some of them on 4K before, but I did not have Godzilla on the 2014 Godzilla, and Godzilla X Kong came out, so I felt I need to pick this up, and I got this special like 5-movie collection edition, which like it looks great. I already gave my thoughts about was it Kong Skull Island, Kingdom of the Monsters, and Godzilla vs. Kong. In terms of Godzilla, the original 2014 one, it actually is sort of like the weakest one in my opinion. Actually, before I talk about more of the movies, I just have to open this up to show how it works. It's like you got like each movie showing like the main monster of the select entry, and like it just folds out like this. Like look at this. Insane. It's a little hard to pick out the 4Ks actually in some of these, but honestly, it is it's such an interesting design, and like I'm trying to see if there's like there's even a special features disc because there's like no way they can put everything. Let me just close this up. But yeah, in terms of the original Godzilla 2014, is it David Ayer? No, it's not there. It's not David Ayer. Gareth Edwards. That movie. It was kind of my weakest one in my opinion. Like I hated the fact they killed Bryan Cranston. We barely saw Godzilla. It feels like if it was like basically like I understand why some people like it because they like the more groundedness like of the take of this movie, but like I kind of prefer when you see more monsters. That's the whole point of Godzilla in my opinion. And it was just kind of a weird film. It felt like it was big budget, but also a bit small scale for my liking. And as for Godzilla X Kong, it's a fun movie. It's not a great movie. I think like Godzilla vs. Kong, I think is the better film. But like if you're just going for the monster mayhem, it's fantastic. Obviously, the story and the human stuff is like whatever, but I don't think people watch these movies for that anymore, and I don't mind that either. And yeah, that's really about it for this update. I was hoping to get Demolition Man on 4K as well, but I have to wait until next year before I can actually spend money again. I'm just trying to save for Morocco at this point. But yeah, no. So like that's the update. I feel that it's going to be, of course, another year before I do another video like this again. I'm going to also try to put out a short of my top 5 movies of the year. I'm waiting until I watch Nosferatu though before I can confirm my top 5 of the year. And that's about it for today. Thanks for watching, and hope you come and watch the next video. Watch the Morocco videos. I'm very excited for those. I don't know, how much videos I'll record or whatever, but it'll be fun. Stay tuned.